Gentlemen, I have some good news for you. We're winning. No, it shouldn't be a contest, and the truth is, we didn't really make it one. The ladies did. But not only are we winning the battles, we're also winning the war. And for proof, I give you Exhibit A.
So I just got through having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were discussing what do we miss most about being in a committed relationship. And we both agreed that it was that emotional connection.
Now, before I respond to her, let me preface what I'm about to say by being very clear. I'm not trying to diss this woman in any way. If anything, I actually feel sorry for her. But I am trying to educate all the ladies out there who think like her. And ladies, let's be honest, most of you do. Though in some cases, most cases, you'll never admit it. Especially around other women, lest you get called a pick-me or worse. But deep down, you have the very same sentiments as her and the same questions. Deep down, you're trying to understand why you've ended up alone with no prospects for the future. Well, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to answer that question and help you prepare for what's to come. Prepare for your future, one where you'll most likely end up bitter and alone. So having said that, let's get into what she just said. You know, how she misses the emotional connection. To which I say, the emotional connection? Oh, you mean the one you probably had with some guy once that you suddenly decided wasn't good enough? The one you thought should be deeper? The one you thought you were going to get from Chad, Rico, or Tyrone, only to find out that the only connection they were interested in was a physical one. That emotional connection? Let's be honest, if you and your friend are alone at your age, odds are you've been through a divorce or two, maybe even 3. Which means to men that your word isn't worth spit. Your till death do us part promise was in reality till I think I can do better. Look, I'm not trying to be mean here, but that is how guys see it. Whether you like it or not, that is the reality you need to face.
Now, of course, we miss the sex, of course.
Oh, darling, I have to ask, do you? Do you really? I mean, we all know you can get that and probably have from the aforementioned Chad, Tyrone, and Rico. So I'm not sure exactly why you'd miss it. But I want to talk about what I think you really mean but didn't say. That it's not that you miss sex, but you miss intimacy. The very intimacy you probably thought you were going to get from all those players that you dumped your ex for to go and chase. Only to find out that most of those guys can't even spell intimacy, let alone define it or engage in it. And that's what she and most women are really missing. And honestly, I do feel for her. I get it, and I don't blame her entirely. Most likely, she got sold a bill of goods by her lonely, miserable single friends who convinced her the guy she was with was a loser and she'd be far happier without him. But as the saying goes, you reap what you sow, ladies. And y'all made it clear that racking up your body count is a priority now, so you can feel like a boss bitch. And thus the guys who seek intimacy, not just sex, don't want anything to do with you, with that mindset, or the women in general who practice it. Sorry, again, I'm being blunt here, ladies, but I'm trying to help you out here. And that is the reality of it all. And the sooner you get that, the sooner you accept it, the sooner things might change for you.
But when you have that emotional connection with somebody, the sex is so much greater.
Well, I can't speak for every guy, but I think it's fair to say I can speak for most to say that we agree. But the thing is, you probably had that in the past with your now ex. The ex you at one point claimed to have a connection with and married. But then, as I said a bit ago, you and your girlies convinced yourself that he wasn't doing enough. It was just the bare minimum. He was just a loser and never put in any effort, at least in your mind. Mostly because you, like most women, don't appreciate or acknowledge anything men do, or you discount it as not good enough. And thus, that emotional connection you're talking about was broken. So now you've chosen the single life, the carefree, happy life that your girlies told you would be the case if you just dumped that loser. And you found out they lied. Found out that they're actually miserable and always were, just like you are now. And while you'll never admit it, you're realizing you may have made a mistake. And now you're regretting your choices, even though in the end, they were your choices and your choices alone. I guess FAFO applies here, both literally and figuratively, doesn't it?
So when I'm talking about emotional connection, it's things like laying on the couch with each other's heads on our chest, or just sitting there talking, or even just staring at each other.
Oh, sweetie, I hear you. And again, I don't want to speak for all men, but I think it's fair to say most men would love those things too. But you also need to hear us as well, which is that we know those things come with a cost, a very, very steep cost. Because while you may want them with us now, while you may like them now, odds are in time, you're not going to want them, as you yourself have likely already proven. And when you suddenly don't want them with that particular guy, you guys just don't walk away. Oh no, ladies don't just move on. They set out to destroy the man and take anything and everything they can from him. His reputation, his house, his car, his property, his access to his children, and oh yeah, a good chunk of his pay. And once you're done with him, you'll do it to the next guy, and the next, and the next. Just have women have collectively done for 50 or so years now, since the advent of no-fault divorce. Oh, and for those of you who want to argue, well, she never said anything about marriage. Okay, so what? Rules apply even when you don't get married. Odds are she's still going to set out to get revenge. She's still going to run around telling everyone it was all his fault. She'll make TikTok videos in her car crying about how he mistreated her, but she was the perfect girlfriend. Hell, there's a pretty good chance she'll even file a false allegation against him these days, because she knows she'll be automatically believed. Believe all women, which gives her the ultimate in revenge. Sorry, ladies, again, that is the reality of today, and men know it. So while you'll all sit there and deny that's the case, you'll all say, stop generalizing us. It's not all women, and it's certainly not me. The fact is, for far too many of you, you've already done those things and more, or likely will. And just like all y'all love to say, we can never know if a man is good or not, the same applies to you. The same applies to women. The risk to men is every bit as great, if not greater, than it is to women, especially when you consider that it is rare for men to make false allegations when compared to women, who these days do it all the time. So while I agree those things you mentioned would all be nice to have, women have made it impossible for any of us to have them. It's sad, but it's where we are at. It's what you ladies fought so hard for. So enjoy your victory. Enjoy your strength and independence. Enjoy your constant, nonstop attacks and disparagement of men that you all continue to make to this day. Look, I know you all think that makes you a boss bitch, but in reality, for most of you, well, let's just say you can leave the boss part off. And for all the good women out there, like I suspect this one might be, the fact of the matter is you're every bit as much to blame. You allowed those women to do what they did and what they continue to do. You never held them accountable. You allowed them to make ridiculous demands and expectations of men. You allowed them to put their hypocrisy and double standards front and center. And let's be honest, most likely, you either sat back and silently or overtly cheered it on. You never once told any of them they were wrong, that they weren't being fair, that it's not okay to label every man a risk or toxic. You never once told them to shut up. You let them speak for you, all of you. And guess what? Men listened. In the end, your silence is your complicity, ladies. And as you're finding out, men aren't fighting back. They're just walking away. Walking away from the bad women, the good women, and every woman in between. Y'all got no one to blame but yourselves. So you better just get used to it.